Matthew chapter 19. And it came to be, when Yeshua had ended these words, that he left Galilee and came to the borders of Yehuda beyond the Jordan. And large crowds followed him, and he healed them there. And the Pharisees came to him, trying him, and saying to him, "Is it right for a man to put away his wife for every reason?" And he, answering, said to them, "Did you not read that he who made them at the beginning made them male and female, and said, 'For this cause a man shall leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh'? So that they're no longer two, but one flesh. Therefore, what Elohim has joined together, let man not separate." They said to him, "Why then did Moshe command to give a certificate of divorce and put her away?" He said to them, "Because of the hardness of your hearts, Moshe allowed you to put away your wives, but from the beginning it was not so. And I say to you, whoever puts away his wife, except on the ground of whoring, and marries another, commits adultery. And whoever marries her who has been put away commits adultery." His taught ones said to him, "If such is the case of the man with his wife, it's good not to marry." And he said to them, "Not all receive this word, but only those to whom it's been given. For there are eunuchs who were so born from their mother's womb, and there are eunuchs who were made eunuchs by men, and there are eunuchs who have made themselves eunuchs for the sake of the reign of the heavens. He who's able to receive it, let him receive it." Then young children were brought to him to lay his hands on them and pray, but the taught ones rebuked him. But Yeshua said, "Allow the young children, and do not stop them from coming to me, for such is the reign of the heavens." And having laid hands on them, he went from there. And see, one came and said to him, "Good teacher, what good shall I do to have everlasting life?" And he said to him, "Why do you call me good? No one's good except one, Elohim. But if you wish to enter into life, guard the commands." He said to him, "Which?" And Yeshua said, "You shall not murder, you shall not commit adultery, you shall not steal, you shall not bear false witness, respect your father and your mother, and you shall love your neighbor as yourself." The young man said to him, "All these I've watched over from my youth. What do I still lack?" Yeshua said to him, "If you wish to be perfect, go sell what you have and give to the poor, and you shall have treasure in heaven, and come follow me." And when the young man heard the word, he went away sad because he had many possessions. And Yeshua said to his taught ones, "Truly I say to you, it's hard for a rich man to enter into the reign of the heavens. And again I say to you, it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the reign of Elohim." And when his taught ones heard it, they were very astonished, saying, "Who then is able to be saved?" And looking intently, Yeshua said to them, "With men, this is impossible. But with Elohim, all is possible." Then Kepha answering said to him, "See, we've left all and followed you. What then shall we have?" And Yeshua said to them, "Truly I say to you, when the Son of Adam sits on the throne of his esteem, you who have followed me in the rebirth shall also sit on 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. And everyone who's left houses or brothers or sisters or father or mother or wife or children or lands for my name's sake shall receive 100-fold, and shall receive and inherit everlasting life. But many who are first shall be last, and the last first. And Marcos, or Mark, chapter 10. And rising up from there, he came into the borders of Yehuda by the other side of the Jordan, and crowds gathered to him again, and, as he usually did, he was teaching again. Pharisees came to him and asked him, "Is it right for a man to put away his wife?" trying him. And he, answering, said to them, "What did Moshe command you?" And they said, "Moshe allowed a man to write a certificate of divorce and put her away." And Yeshua said to them, "Because of the hardness of your heart, he wrote that command. However, from the beginning of the creation, Elohim made them male and female. For this cause, a man shall leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. So they're no longer two, but one flesh. Therefore, what Elohim has joined together, let man not separate." And in the house, his taught ones asked him about this again, and he said to them, "Whoever puts away his wife and marries another commits adultery against her. And if a woman puts away her husband and marries another, she commits adultery." And they were bringing little children for him to touch them, but the taught ones were rebuking those who were bringing the children. And when Yeshua saw it, he was much displeased and said to them, "Let the little children come to me, and do not forbid them, for such is the reign of Elohim, as a little child. And I say to you, whoever doesn't receive the reign of Elohim as a little child shall certainly not enter into it." And taking them up in his arms, laying his hands on them, he blessed them. And as he was setting out on the way, one came running and knelt before him and asked, "Good teacher, what shall I do to inherit everlasting life?" And Yeshua said to him, "Why do you call me good? No one's good except one, Elohim. You know the commands. Do not commit adultery, do not murder, do not steal, do not bear false witness, do not rob, respect your mother and father." And he answering said to him, "Teacher, all these I've watched over from my youth." And Yeshua, looking at him, loved him and said, "One matter you lack. Go sell all you possess and give to the poor, and you shall have treasure in heaven. And come, follow me," taking up the stake. But he, being sad at this word, went away grieved, for he had many possessions. And Yeshua, looking around, said to his taught ones, "How hard it is for those who have money to enter into the reign of Elohim." And the taught ones were astonished at his words. And Yeshua, responding, said to them again, "Children, how hard it is for those who trust in riches to enter into the reign of Elohim. It's easier for a camel to enter through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the reign of Elohim." And they were immeasurably astonished, saying amongst themselves, "Who then's able to be saved?" And looking at them, Yeshua said, "With men this is impossible, but not with Elohim, for with Elohim all is possible." And Kepha began to say to him, "See, we've left all, and we've followed you." Yeshua said, "Truly I say to you, there's no one who has left house or brothers or sister or father or mother or wife or children or lands for the sake of me and the good news, who shall not receive 100-fold now in this time, houses and brothers and sisters and mothers and children and lands, with persecutions, and in the age to come everlasting life. But many who are first shall be last, and the last first." And they were on the way, going up to Jerusalem. And Yeshua was going before them, and they were astonished, and those who followed were afraid. And again he took the 12 aside and began to say to them what was about to befall them. See, we're going up to Jerusalem, and the son of Adam shall be delivered to the chief priests and to the scribes, and they shall condemn him to death, and shall deliver him to the nations. They shall mock him, and flog him, and spit on him, and kill him. And the third day he shall rise again. And Yaakov and Johanan, the sons of Zabdi, came up to him, saying, Teacher, we wish that you would do for us whatever we ask. And he said to them, What do you wish me to do for you? And they said to him, Grant us to be seated in your esteem, one on your right hand and the other on your left. But Yeshua said to them, You don't know what you ask. Are you able to drink the cup that I drink and be immersed with the immersion that I'm immersed with? And they said to him, We are able. And Yeshua said to them, You shall indeed drink the cup that I drink, and with the immersion I am immersed with, you shall be immersed. But to sit on my right hand and on my left is not mine to give, but it's for those for whom it has been prepared. And when the 10 heard it, they began to be sorely disappointed with Yaakov and Johanan. And Yeshua, calling them near, said to them, You know that those who think to rule the nations are masters over them, and their great ones exercise authority over them, but it's not so among you. Whoever wishes to become great among you shall be a servant. Whoever wishes to be first among you shall be servant of all. For even the Son of Adam did not come to be served, but to serve and to give his life as a ransom for many. And they came to Jericho, and as he was leaving Jericho, his taught ones and a large crowd, blind Bartimaeus, the son of Timaeus, was sitting by the way begging. And when he heard that it was Yeshua of Nazareth, he began to cry out and say, Yeshua, son of David, have compassion on me. And many were reprimanding him to be silent. But he cried out all the more, Son of David, have compassion on me. Then Yeshua stopped and said, Call him. And they called the blind man, saying to him, Take courage, arise, he's calling you. And he, throwing aside his garment, rose and came to Yeshua. And Yeshua, responding, said to him, What do you desire I do for you? And the blind man said to him, Rabboni, that I receive my sight. And Yeshua said to him, Go, your belief has healed you. And immediately he saw again and followed Yeshua on the way.